I'm Felicia Madison, and this is Broadish. Welcome.
Felicia,
Super
hot
excited.
new hair. Check it out.
Hot new hair. Hollie's got hot new hair. I think we thought Jocelyn has hot. Dhaya was jealous that she didn't have.
Dhaya's hair always looks hot. Your hair always looks good anyway, girl.
Thank you. I'm gonna wait until San Francisco's open again so I can get my hair done.
I hear you.
You know, the girls thought I had hot new hair. Mine was just in a bun, and then it got let down. So then ends up looking like this after it was in a bun.
I love it. Keep doing it.
All right, keep having fun hair.
So we're gonna move on to talking about hair. we're gonna move to our first topic, which is Noah Cyrus got herself in some trouble by using the term Nappy Ass Ho to describe Candace Owens when she was critiquing Harry Styles, and Noah Cyrus was defending him. So a lot of people weren't happy about that, and for good reason. And she issued an apology, but I don't know if we're buying.
Yeah, I'm not.
What do you
Let's just
think?
describe to the viewers what her apology is. Her apology is, I thought nappy meant tired, and was not
Oh, please. Yeah, but here's another thing. What I caught when she was like, he can wear that dress better than any of you nappy ass hoes. Who is she talking about? Who are the nappy women? And I'm sorry, your sister, first of all, you grew up in the South, you grew up in the music industry, and your older sister has been involved in too much hip hop through your whole teen years and childhood for you to be claiming that you didn't know that nappy was a very racist pejorative. Okay? It's a way of smearing Black women. It's a way of putting us down. And now, because the natural hair movement has become so big, many of us, we claim nappiness. We have reclaimed it. We've taken the term nappy and turned around, but that's not what this little bitch meant. I'm sorry. That's not what she meant at all. And so what kills me is that, so we're fighting homophobia with racism. Do you know what I mean? Because Candace was being homophobic towards Harry Styles and how he wore that dress for that magazine shoot. And so for you to just do that and then try to turn around and be like, I didn't know, that's nonsense. And you
what
need to
if she really didn't know? Meaning, if she was surrounded by Black people all the time, and Black people are using this nappy word on one another in a friendly manner, right? Like you're saying, you've reclaimed the word. Would she just, like, in that context, think it was acceptable?
When Black people are calling each other nappy, it's usually coming from ignorant Black people to other Black people as a pejorative. Nobody Black is slinging nappy like it's a wonderful thing.
No one's like, love my nappy.
No, if we love your hair, like if we have, like my hair is not this big right now. I have natural hair. If I'm looking at another sister with natural hair, I'm like, girl, you look beautiful. Your hair looks like this. I'm not being like, oh, it looks so nappy. You look amazing. I wouldn't even say that. I just wouldn't come out like that. We call our hair so many things, and we don't call it nappy as this big, wonderful thing.
Yeah, you can also Also, the internet is available to everyone now.
Thank you.
You can literally go on Urban Dictionary and see that this is not acceptable. If someone uses a term and you're like, I wonder what this means, I wonder what dead ass means, you can literally look it up and understand the definition, and people have said what it is. So I don't think ignorance is a good excuse, because I literally speak 3 languages. So dumb Americans can learn one slang word, and they can avoid that slang. So
Dhaya, you cannot hold Americans to the standard of an overachieving Asian. Right?
Well, the thing is with Noah, she knew to call her a hoe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that she knew to slur her she knew how to smear a Black woman calling her a hoe. She knew how to do that. And she put the nappy right before it. So I don't buy that whatsoever.
Yeah, like,
girl was being racist and she got caught.
Yeah. So speaking of overachieving, I've never heard like recent immigrants coming to America from like China or India and being like, oh, nappy horse everywhere. Like, we just don't do that shit. Like, I mean, we're racist in different ways, but this is like about putting down Black women specifically. Don Imus got fired for saying something similar a long time ago. So we have cultural history. So not only do these young people not know what slurs are and aren't, they don't even know their history. Like, just go back in time and see other people who got fired for that stuff. So I think that you should understand that language changes and slurs change, and you should keep up with it. I mean, if you're in the public eye, you get the benefit, so now you have to deal with the consequences.
I will say though, I would be a little, not that I'm not upset about it, but it is Candace Owens, and she was destroyed in the media by everyone and gotten every slur. Dave Chappelle, I think, called her a cunt on his special.
Yeah.
So, not to defend Noah, but like, it's like, okay, so a white woman can't trash her, but a Black man can.
No. It's not how she trashed her. It's not about trashing somebody. She trashed her on some racism. Now, if you want to trash Candace Owens, you can call her stupid, you can call her racist, you can call her foul. But when you start into the nappy ass hoes, bitch, you racist now. Don't fight homophobia with racism. Don't fight classism with homophobia. Like, don't fight these things and throw out other things, because you're just being that. And I'm a Black woman, and so now I'm looking at you, I'm looking at your family, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's really interesting how you thought that you could appropriate what you thought was Black language, and you got burned. And you got burnt.
Also, I do agree with Felicia, though. Like, we can't fight racism with calling someone like a hoe or a bitch or whatever. Like, that's just as wrong to be like that. And also, it was directed towards a Black woman. Like, I don't hear, comedians saying this about, Kaylee McEnany or Kellyanne Conway. Like, nobody's calling them these things. So I think that Black women do get they have to bear the brunt of sexism and racism, and it's all wrong. It's all wrong. I mean, let's just speak. Let's undermine people for how dumb they are. That's what I want to do. That's all I've wanted to do.
Get to the heart of it. Like, leave all this other crap out. Get to the heart of it.
Right? I never knew.
That's the problem.
So I never knew this term nappy until this piece of news. Like, I only associate nappy with nappy rash. And so when I first heard nappy ass ho, I thought
diaper
a rashy ass.
I remember. I've heard that. You know, nappy, and I've heard the English people use like diapers, like a nappy. But
you guys don't have the term nappy rash here?
It's a diaper rash.
You say diaper rash.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. We had a little conversation before. I didn't really know it was such a pejorative bad word. I guess I need to study the Urban Dictionary a little better.
But here's why
you know not to call somebody nappy.
No, I don't.
I would never use that term to describe someone.
It's a racist
Felicia wouldn't do that. But here's why it matters. Black women and Black men are increasingly penalized for having natural hair in the workplace. So someone had to cut their hair because they were wearing it naturally. It's almost, in many places, it's legal to discriminate against Black people for having natural hair. So it's not just the word that matters. It plays into this larger context of economic racism against Black people for something that they can't control, which is how the hair literally comes out of their head.
How is it legal to persecute someone for their natural hair?
Because they'll say that's distracting. They'll say, like, they've come up with many terms. It's crazy you say that, because years ago when I was a teenager, I was a busgirl and a waitress at a restaurant in my hometown, and I had long braids, and they were like, we don't know if those braids really fly with our image. And I was like, I played dumb. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And they're like, well, the braids, it's not really professional. And I was just like, so a Black hairstyle is not professional? I was like, I have to whiten my hair to look professional. And this is like in the late 80s, early 90s. And we were just being like, I threatened to sue. I mean, I had nothing to stand behind it, but I threatened and they backed off. But if you look at the history, even up until last year, there have been many cases of Black women not being able to work here, not being able to work there, not even getting the job, not even getting called in because of natural hair.
And to Jocelyn's question, again, with the statistics, there's a woman who was forced to cut off her dreadlocks, and they told her at work they tend to get messy. So the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC, filed a lawsuit on behalf of the woman who was discriminated against, and they lost. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the district court's ruling and dismissed the case. So this has been working its way through the legal system that it's okay to dismiss and denigrate Black women and Black men because of their hair. So the court system has not yet, from my knowledge, caught up to the fact that this is a civil rights issue.
Yeah, the only reason that we straightened our hair in the first place is because we were told it was ugly and that it was nasty. And then during the Great Migration, from the South on up to the Midwest and the East Coast, the only way Black women were getting jobs as maids and domestics is if they straighten their hair. So assimilation is not because we wanted to look like you, wanted to look like white people. We had to emulate white hair for employment. So for her to try and play on that is just garbage. It's garbage.
And I think it's even affecting the way Black people perceive their own beauty. So my ex is Black, and he was saying that amongst Black men, they would still prefer a half Black, half something else woman, because they have like that street cred of still dating a Black girl, but then she has that silkier hair of another race. Like, what? It blew my mind that he actually preferred, not just him, like apparently amongst a lot of Black men, they want like a half Black, half something else for like a more Caucasian look or more like whatever kind of other type she is.
And just even where the term good hair comes from. You've heard that term good hair.
So there's a whole documentary. Chris Rock made a whole documentary about good hair. And when Black women have, quote, good hair on their heads, you know where it comes from. It comes from my people. Indian wigs are the largest source of good hair for Black women. So give us our hair back, okay?
You want this right now? You want me to mail it to you right now? You want this right now? I bought it. You want the receipt? What you want?
In this case, I'm going to snatch it from Hollie and I'm going to return it to the motherland.
You should reach out right now.
I think if you want good hair, you know, I don't know.
I want to see Dhaya taking off her earrings, reaching out to grab Hollie's wig.
Yeah, but you show me a Black woman in Hollywood before 2010 that had natural hair on the red carpet. Show me.
Wow.
And take out the 70s. Take out the 70s, because that was a different time. Take that out. But you show me. Where is that? That's not the hair that grows out your head.
No.
I mean, the other issue is it takes hours for Black women to get their hair done. It takes white women and Indian women long time too, but Black women's hair care is much more expensive. It takes longer. It can take like $300 to put in braids at least. And you have to
my weaves back in the day were easily $600-700.
Right.
But their skin is gorgeous forever.
I know, right? That's like our reparations, though. That's like our reparations.
So it's
trade-off. I'd go for a couple of extra hours of hair for good skin.
But you know, it does make me mad though, because for example, women in general have a higher price point to maintain our beauty, and then Black women are now having an even higher price point to maintain their hair and part, which is in part their beauty. But yet economically, women make less than men, but we have to spend more. And then Black women economically make less than other women, and yet they have to spend more. That's just terrible economics.
Yeah.
So quick question, do you accept Noah's apology or not?
Accept it. Not accept. I just think she's full of crap, and I think little girl got caught being racist.
Right.
She got caught, and then her apology. And you know, it's funny because as a mom, we talk about her. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and be like, Billy Ray and your mom, whatever her mom's name, y'all didn't teach her how to be accountable.
Right.
Because look, we've all made mistakes. We have all made mistakes. We have said the wrong thing. We've done something wrong. You know what I mean? But how you own up, very largely, especially when you're young, it's how your parents taught you. Why didn't they teach her just to fess up and be like, you know what? That was really wrong and I'm sorry. Now, I thought, bitch, no, you didn't, because you backed it right up with the hose and saved it for the Black girl. No.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next subject, which is very sad. The founder of Zappos, Noah, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. It's,
Tony?
oh, sorry, Tony. I'm moving on from Noah.
I was like, he's Noah.
I haven't gotten over Noah's nappy. It was very snappy.
Oh, Felicia's throwing down some rhymes. Look at that.
Just gonna start rapping before y'all know it.
So Tony was the founder and CEO of Zappos. He was a shoo-in for a happy life, but apparently not. Found dead in a very suspicious accident in the garage, I think, of his girlfriend's house. He lit himself on fire, and very sad. So what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, so I was reading some of the backstory, and I'm a big fan of Tony. I was an entrepreneur in a previous life, read his book, visited Zappos, really just bought into this culture of happiness that he was promoting. And it's so ironical that Mr. Happiness didn't seem so happy after all. Like after he left Zappos and stepped down, he got caught up in this web of drugs and allegedly was mixing around with people who were more on the derelict side. At least that's what I think one article was saying. So I guess the question is, do people need a really big goal to keep us on track in our lives? And once we get it, then we are purposeless and just devolve into hedonism? Or can you keep being happy and productive after you've achieved your big goal? Like, what would you guys do after you've like made it in comedy, for example?
Well, I think, you know, a lot of studies have shown that successful people are successful because they're driven to they're always like driven to find that happiness. It's what drives them to find happiness. So I would argue that he was always unhappy and was driven and working hard and trying to find his happiness in his success, but his unhappiness came before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is super sad, and I guess that there were all the signs. Like, I don't know if you read the part of the article where he's like close friends with Jewel, and she had to send him like a FedEx letter because he wasn't checking email. And she was like, "Look, you're really going down this self-destructive path. I'm worried about who you're spending time with." It kind of, you know, he's not as famous obviously as Prince, but it made me think of Prince because he was so talented. He did so much for the community. People loved him. He was a Jehovah's Witness. He was into clean eating, but towards his life, he just, you know, succumbed to his addiction. And he had people around him like going to Walgreens and getting him drugs and getting him opiates. So I feel like if you're successful, at some point you have to have people around you who keep it real with you, like the kid you grew up with, or someone who can tell you to your face that you're doing the wrong thing. And I feel bad that he might not have had those people in his life, except for Jewel, who tried to tell him, and it was too late. So it just feels like a tragedy to me.
Yeah. It just seems to me with people with drug addiction, you know, that unless they have that team of people to completely intervene and be like shake you out of it, you just keep going until you're gone, you know. And it's really sad.
And we've seen so many stories of celebrities lose the battle to addiction and depression after they have made it. So I guess I don't feel so bad about not having made it yet as a comedian. I'm just postponing my mental demise. And
well, I think also, you know, sort of along with what Dhaya was saying, I think the people that keep and have strong friends and strong relationships can survive that. So I think maybe if it happens too quickly and you don't have, like, I find a lot of people that become famous keep their friends that they've had since childhood, because those were the ones they know, like, loved them before their fame.
Yeah.
They're not using them for anything.
Yeah, I read that the early fame, the early success, when it happens when you're a teenager, those younger stars, they have a very high chance of lapsing into alcoholism and drug abuse. I think because suddenly the world is your oyster so early that you don't really know what to do with it. Now you don't have any boundaries because you're so famous. People are going to let you do whatever you want to do. And when they're still so young, when they're still teenagers, you still need a bit of at the time, parental control. And for us as adults, even when we make it, we need, like y'all was saying, good-headed friends and family to keep you in track. I know if I ever become famous,
You can remember me?
I will always remember you.
How could you forget Felicia?
How could I forget? You gave me my head start.
Well, I don't know who, I'm not sure who said it. I think it was Morgan Freeman, but I think I'm 75% right. I think it was Morgan Freeman. He said that you stop maturing at the age you become famous.
Wow.
So if somebody becomes famous when they're 18, 19 years old, yeah, I could see it being really hard to grow up. You know what I mean? Especially like when you said those child stars or like teen stars, like you become famous when you're 110 pounds and you're perfect and you're 17 years old. Like, how do you gain a pound after that? How do you
Well,
gain a wrinkle?
I need to become famous now because I want to stop growing.
That's the ticket.
Look at all those different strokes. Remember different strokes? Like all those kids are dead now, right? Are they all dead?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dana Plato, she died of a drug overdose. Did Todd Bridges died?
I think
Right?
so.
Is Todd Bridges alive? Oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to say someone's dead. We know Gary's dead. We know Gary's dead. And then remember when Gary's working as a security guard at the studio? Oh, he was working as a security guard and people were just clowning him. So yeah, like that's gotta be hard to make it as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I tell my parents when they're like, so Jocelyn, where is your Netflix special? I'm like, hey, you don't want me to die tomorrow, right? So just chill out, it's coming. But the moment I get my Netflix special, I'm doing an Instagram ad and my target audience is going to be my exes. Like it's going to be 5 people, all my exes.
You're going to call it the Netflix special.
There you go. Let me tell you something. You hit on something, Jocelyn. I don't think people realize it. What I want to say is, do people realize how much it can hurt when they know they like, okay, we're out here, we're trying to, make it. And then when people say things like, well, where's your special? Or where it hurts. You know what I mean? Because you're never looking at a doctor and be like, where's your practice? Where's that? How come I never see you as a star doctor on TV? We never see where's your big star lawyer thing? Where's that? Like they do that to people in the entertainment industry, and it's tough because most of us don't make it to the very, very tippy top. And it's very painful to have everybody like clocking you. So yeah.
I think it's in any industry.
It's like it delegitimizes our career just because we are not stars yet. We're still professional comedians.
Yeah.
You're
definitely.
a star in my eye.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, guys, to our next topic.
Was that topic called Happy Headed Shoe?
Stop it.
Okay, guys, so we're going to move on to 100 days of masks. Is it constitutional? We're hearing a lot of good things that Joe Biden has in store for us in his first 100 days. Masks, vaccines, opening schools. We're in a democratic society, I don't know. Trump's trying to change that. But, this is the problem that we're running into, I think, in the United States with the coronavirus, unlike other countries where the government says, okay, we're doing this and it's done. People are saying this violates their civil rights and there's going to be arguments about it. So what do you guys think about that?
I hate that. First of all, the Constitution didn't factor in algebra, let alone coronavirus. You know what I mean? The Constitution didn't know this was coming. And it's just like, you can say, is it constitutional? But like, is it constitutional to endanger my life? Is it constitutional for us to keep infecting each other around and around and around? So when people are like, is that constitutional? It's like, so you want people to die? You don't care? Is that just what you're on?
You have the right to life, liberty, right? It's life first.
Yes.
Right to not wear a fucking mask. That's nowhere in the fucking Constitution.
Nowhere in there. Yeah. I'm with Jocelyn on that. Yes.
I mean, I would really prefer if we had a little bit of Singapore in America, because I feel like people have too much freedom right now. Like we're in the middle of a pandemic and I don't know if you saw that like drunk ass blonde woman who testified. She was like Giuliani's star witness.
My God.
And she was like completely drunk. She's like, but the public The pullback is like, and she was like super messy and crazy. Anyway, Giuliani tested positive for coronavirus and she will not self isolate. She said the only person who can tell me to isolate is Donald Trump. So there's people who are just saying freedom, but they don't have any data, they don't have any information, they're just being stubborn. So I feel like we need a little bit of like Singapore, China, like these countries, like we need a little bit of that anti-democratic feel to come into America and be like, shut this shit down, masks everywhere, don't go out. Like I'm completely okay giving up some liberties for the chance to live.
Yeah, I
Well,
do. I mean, I've always said Singapore gets so much more shit done because we have one party in primary control, and America gets almost nothing done because it's like two parties just warring against one another. The government can shut down. I didn't even know a government could shut down. It's just too much. By the way,
what about the fact that because in terms of the comedy world, comedy's been shut down.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of comedians and a lot of organizations breaking the rules and performing, whether it's outdoors, on rooftops, even in clubs. And they all sort of say, the government does things that's wrong all the time. Look at, prohibition, or there was another example, or slavery. We should revolt against it. And that's sort of the same thing, as far as I'm concerned, as anti-masking. I mean, they're basically saying the government has no right to shut down the clubs. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to revolt, and I'm right.
Well, let me tell you one thing. What's funny is that when coronavirus really hit New York City and the East Coast really hard back in April, and we were seeing 700 and 800 people die a day here. My younger sister, I have two younger sisters. One of my younger sisters, the baby one, she really wrote me and she talked about how she goes, wait till the word gets out that this is really affecting Black people disproportionately, then it will be about people's rights. And she was writing about this on Facebook. People were like, no. There are people who are like, no, you're being reverse racist against white people. We wouldn't do that. And look what happened. Look what happened. The minute it came out that it was disproportionately essential workers, poor people of every race, and Black people, all of a sudden it became about our rights. It became about our rights. If yellow labs were dying because of coronavirus, we'd all be wearing masks. Yellow Labradors. We would.
Well, I don't want the yellow labs to die.
There you go.
They're so cute.
I just noticed, speaking of cute, I just noticed Dhaya's t-shirt is cutie pie.
Yes.
It's
Thank you.
Of you.
Jocelyn.
You're cute and also very scientific. It's the perfect t-shirt.
And now I'm hungry.
I wish Jocelyn were a guy, because I would be so taken aback by that flirtation. I'd be like, you really get me. Oh.
Hey, sometimes I can swing a little bit.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Next week
All girl high school,
See, I knew it with the all girls high school. I knew it.
Wow, we've really come
any girls in high school. I didn't kiss a single girl in high school because no girl wanted to kiss me.
Oh, that's ridiculous, Jocelyn.
I don't believe that.
She was overweight in high school, remember?
I was overweight in high school. Yeah.
She was 120. That's not overweight.
You were
overweight.
You were overweight for Los Angeles. That's it. That is it. You were overweight anywhere else.
And the Upper East Side too.
Weight standard, and then Asian weight standards even higher than LA.
Oh my God. No, but seriously, Felicia, with this 100 days of masks, I find this even comical that people are even beefing about this. We could have done 100 days of masks 9 months ago. We could have been done with this.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean? 100 days of masks. We've been wearing a mask for how long now? 200 days? We've been wearing these masks for how many months now? It's been 9 months, right?
It's been longer than 9 months. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I think, we're heading. I'm hopeful. Who knows? Other countries have been fighting it, and it's coming back everywhere. Who knows if he could really eradicate it? But there is a vaccine coming. So, I know they're saying they're going to start giving it to people. There was actually just posted in England, the first 2 people to get it. One of them was Oh my God, what was his name? Do you remember the name of the guy, the first guy that got it? He had
William Shakespeare.
William
It
Shakespeare.
was William Shakespeare. His name
His
is
name
William
is William
Shakespeare, and he got the
Shakespeare?
vaccine.
That's funny.
That's poetic, right? Or
Yeah. Well, here's the
Wow.
thing. I mean, I totally agree that like to Felicia's point, comedy clubs being shut down, people not being allowed to do outdoor shows when then there's outdoor dining, or some
Yeah.
people are like, let's allow schools to go back, but let's not allow artists to do outdoor theater. I mean, the law is really being enforced in unfair ways, but I want to take the mask issue out of it because if we just wear masks, outdoor transmission is much less. We don't, we kind of are safe about it. We could still have art. We could still have gatherings outdoors. In California, the weather is a little bit nicer, but it requires people to wear masks. And I don't know if you saw the New York Times article where you could see what number you are on the list. Like, I don't have a pre-existing condition. I'm not over 65. I'm not an essential worker. I'm not a healthcare worker. I'm number 23 million in line to get the vaccine.
I'm getting mine in 2022.
Yeah, so until my number comes up, I'm going to have to keep masking. And these people who are not willing to mask, they're just spreading it to people, who are elderly, who are essential workers. And so I don't know how to enforce that. The only way to enforce it is for police to arrest them. And we've talked about police before. So I don't know if we want to go there.
Oh God, that's all we need. Okay, cool. So we're gonna move on to our final topic. What the fuck, Staten Island?
Like a cutie pie.
Cutie pie. Yeah, so talk about not listening to law enforcement. This bar owner didn't want to comply with the rules and got mad and they were trying to arrest him, and he ran over a fire marshal. And what the fuck?
Jeep, right?
With his Jeep, yeah.
So I have a question. Since I'm living in California, the rest of you are in New York. Can you please explain Staten Island to me? Because as Felicia put it, they went Republican. They're like the source of what, a big waste dump? Like, people put their trash in Staten Island, like including this guy, apparently. What's wrong with Staten Island? Explain it to a Californian.
Well, I think why it went, and I hope this is right, but I mean, I think there are a lot of police and a lot of fire department people there. And I think the whole Black Lives Matter, defund the police maybe hit home there for them, and they maybe got scared, and that's why it went Republican. That would be my interpretation of what happened. I don't know, Hollie, you might have a different interpretation of that.
I've only been to Staten Island 3 times. And each time I was like, okay, it's time to go. Nobody was mean to me in Staten Island. You know what I mean? Like, nothing bad happened to me in Staten Island. I just know I don't see much color beyond the Wu-Tang Clan and their family. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. But seriously, this whole guy, they're like, people are like, he's a hero. So white heroes get all the adulation, and white heroes get shows on HBO, whereas like white hero criminals get shows on HBO, whereas black people suspected of crime would get shot on site. Like, this man should have been shot. And I'm not saying he should have been shot. I'm saying by the playbook of how black people are treated within these situations, he should have been shot.
Yeah, he would have been if he were black.
He should have, and he would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just kind of like, oh, really? It just irritates me that we see that there are people calling this man a hero, but when it comes to black people and brown people, it's like, how come they just can't follow the law? So it's just like, who are laws and rules for?
Yeah. Like,
it wasn't this a law and order president, but yet we know how many laws he's broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have any good ratings in Staten Island anytime soon.
One of my friends from college was in a bar in New York, and she met a guy from Staten Island, and they made out. And after that, her goal was to get a guy from every borough, because Staten Island was the hardest one. So she's like, it would be so easy to get Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, the
I
Bronx.
love her goal, and I think I've met all of them because I do have one guy from Staten Island. So check that one. That is the hardest one. You're right. I only Brooklyn, you know, like 4. Manhattan, oh my God, can't even count.
What about New Jersey?
Oh, yes.
What about
Is
Queens,
that the sixth
Jocelyn?
borough? Jersey is the sixth borough.
We're special, Jersey.
What about Bronx and Queens, Jocelyn? Give everyone an equal attention.
I've had Queens. Is Bronx part of Queens?
No, Bronx is a separate.
No,
It's a separate.
it's nowhere near Queens.
That's how much I know about the Bronx. So no, the answer is no, no Bronx.
That was a funny moment. That was y'all. It was dead quiet. Y'all heard that?
I'm saying that's like, is Philippines part of China?
No, but oh my God. Oh my God. I'm saying this was like that moment on the Real Housewives of Atlanta almost 10 years ago when they were talking about the Underground Railroad, and Portia Williams was like, well, I don't know, somebody had to be driving a train. And everybody was like, they just called it the railroad. It wasn't a toot-toot type of situation. It wasn't.
Oh, well, okay. Well, Jocelyn has New Jersey on her sights. I think that could be your Jersey boy.
Bronx, so any firefighters in the Bronx, hit me up. Come at me.
Okay, guys, well, that was a fun episode. Thank you for joining and tuning in on Facebook Live and on YouTube for Broadish. I'm Felicia Madison.
I'm Hollie Harper.
Jocelyn Chia. We can't know who's supposed to be.
We're like,
For the,
I'm Dhaya Lakshminarayanan.
and we are seriously delayed.